What is up, guys? Welcome to Breakfast with Bobby, episode 13, I think. Yeah, we're going on 13. I already got the egg started, got my Greek yogurt out, kind of got ahead of schedule for a minute. Either way, that's okay, because I am somehow behind. Again, it seems to be the norm. One day I'll learn to manage my time better. However, as the wonderful thumbnail alluded, I am invited to the Arnold Classic. You all have been told that, so I can say it to you now, which is always the fun bit. Now, I'm going to divulge all of my secrets about the upcoming Arnold Classic that you guys probably don't know. So y'all are going to hate me, but there's none of them. As of right now, we only know the location and the days, which is the same thing y'all do. So I have those secrets. Once I have them, I'll gladly let y'all know. But as of right now, I just know that I'm going, and I know that my buddies are going, and that's all I've got. However, I do want to talk about something else. Something that I think may pique y'all's interest. And I have been recently, over the last 12 months, a lot of people have been asking me about the whole body transformation. I know Laws, my coach, for those of you that don't know, has been getting a lot of questions on how do I look like Bobby Thompson? Can you do that to me? I think a lot of people thought that was the purpose of weight loss. It was not. Well, to get less fat was. But I did not know I was going to look like this when doing that. And in terms of training, Laws' training was beneficial to that. But I was doing my own conditioning on the side, as I've said a few times. So maybe let's talk about some of the things that I now realize you have to do if you are going to be strong and not fat. Now, jacked, shredded, peeled, there's varied degrees, and obviously the further down the jacked, shredded, peeled rabbit hole you get, probably not going to be the best situation for trying to be the strongest version of yourself in terms of like maximum force output. Mentally, I mean, you might be kind of delirious at a certain point. However, you're probably mentally really strong at the end of that experience. But I digress. Let's come back. So let's talk about the things that you have to absolutely have to be as strong and as not fat as possible for your genetics as you can. Now, real quick, we're going to talk about the one thing that is more important than any other thing you'll put in your body, food, vitamins, whatever you want to call it. And that's going to be your genetics. It doesn't matter what you do. Those are going to have a massive role in how you respond to various types of training. Everything from the accumulation of lean muscle mass and strength over time. I'm not talking about, I think there's anything wrong with that as long as it's what they're doing in their sport and they're not pretending it's something on that whole lifelong want to be strong and not fat situation. One, you cannot be stupid. And what I mean you cannot be stupid is literally that. You have to be reasonably intelligent to do this because you have to be looking at your food. There's lots of counting involved. Even if you have a nutritionist, there's still quite a bit of counting and pre-planning and problem solving. Because at the end of the day, everything else that comes after this one, being intelligent, it's really going to be, you're not, I'm going to tell you what these things are and what the situations are, but it's not going to be something that just falls down in front of you and you magically make it all line up. You're going to have to problem solve and more importantly, decide what's important and what's not important. I.e. deciding what's more important, staying up for an hour and a half to get that last meal or getting 8 hours of sleep, right? You need to be intelligent if you want to be jacked or if you want to be not fat and strong long term. Not the genetic variable that was the kid in high school who was good at everything he touched. Not him. I'm talking about long term. Okay? All right. I'm not going to put like a weight on like how much you have to be for it to count, but like I would generally say if I see somebody who is a runner and they're really lean, that's great. But guys, I'm talking about somebody who you're going to look at and go, damn, that guy's strong. He has a 700-pound deadlift and abs. That's usually when you start looking into that realm of, okay, that guy is jacked or not fat and strong. So genetics and intelligence, more so not what you're born with, but what you acquire along the way. You got to always be studying and always be paying attention to what your body's doing as you get older. The next thing, you're going to have to eat like you care. 100%. I remember in high school when I said I wanted to be a 300-pound man, which that was kind of stupid at the time. I didn't really know what it meant. I just wanted to be 300 pounds and strong, and that's what I said. So that was back when we were eating like, 20, 30, 40 bucks at McDonald's post-workout because we had to get the calories in, bro. And where everybody's like eating ice cream for calories and dumping it in their protein shakes. No, man, it's cool. I'm a hard gainer. I got to get my calories in. We got away with it because we were kids, okay? But now you actually do have to care where your protein comes from, which is why you see me cooking with beef tallow instead of butter and ground chicken as my primary protein source, I've stopped consuming meat, or red meat. Not meat in general, oh, I'm a meat eater. I've stopped consuming red meat for the most part because it doesn't interact that great long term with my gut. And that was something I had. 1,500 calories to get 40 grams of protein. Your 40 grams of protein doesn't not count, but let's look at all the sodium and extra fat you just got dumped in on top of it. So, intelligence. What did I say? It's got no, excuse me. Genetics, intelligence, diet. Diet lifestyle, not diet equation, not diet, I want to lose 50 pounds, but you have to have the nutrition foundation that just is your general existence in order to be this way. Ooh, sorry guys, I swear I'm healthy, I haven't even eaten yet. But in order to be this way, right, you have to have that everyday nutritional playbook ready to go. It's going to mean cooking your food, taking it with you. It's going to mean that understanding that most people in America do not even know what healthy food is, and you're going to have to spell it out for them. It kind of sucks, but that is 100% the case. So, caring about where your macros come from, understanding that you do not need all of the calories, but you need some of them, but you should care about what comes with those calories. Meaning that just because you get all your protein in doesn't mean you get to abandon the fact that there are carbohydrates, there are fats, there are oils, there's grease, there's butter, there's all this crap in there that doesn't render the protein useless, but it pushes you so far back into the negative column that it was a useless thing to do. So, nutritional knowledge, intelligence, genetics, that's reverse order of the most important things. However, the one macro you cannot skimp on, it's going to be protein. You cannot skip on that. You cannot do it. We know very little about when protein synthesis occurs, and it's not like we know exactly when it's going to happen. We just have a general idea. So for most people, it's about having evenly dispersed bits of protein throughout the entirety of the day. So when the body decides to go ahead and go through protein synthesis, because again, that's not really something we can predict when it's going to happen, you just have to hope it's got the building blocks and the fuel to get the job done. So that's where time management, solving those problems, having your food with you, not just stopping and eating whatever, is really the long-term solution to not getting fat and getting stronger. Okay? And the final, you have to understand where you fall. You have to understand that I have been 300 pounds since I was 24 years old. I'm 32. I walked into high school at I'm about to be 32. Walked into high school at 220 pounds. I've been a big dude working outside since I was 12. I'm gonna have some developed muscle mass over the years that most people, unless you live that lifestyle and then make fitness a priority, aren't gonna have those added benefits. They're not going to. So realistically, people in my situation have a much higher ceiling than somebody who may not. So understanding that when you're attacking this goal, you may not need to be 300 pounds. You may not understand what that actually is and what that means to do and to accomplish, and how not necessary it most likely is for you to do what you want to do. Most people see massive individuals walking around and they have no concept of how much they weigh. A 220 pound man that's 6 foot tall who's in really good shape, that's a big guy. A 250 pound person, if you're big no matter what at that point. If you're 250 pounds, you're a big dude. But if you're 6 foot, 250 pounds, lean, and lean, let's say good dad bod lean, like lean like I am right now, not shredded, just like he watches his food and does his cardio lean. It's okay. If you can manage that and you're not 6'5", you're going to look massive and you're going to be strong. So I'm not saying don't look at unrealistic body types. Let them fuel you. Let that be the potential that's out there within the human species. If you know that you being 300 pounds is not realistic, don't eat like you're 300 pounds. Eat like the 250 pounds that is realistic and be a huge 250 pounds. So, guys, hopefully this offers a little bit of insight on what it takes to be jacked, not fat necessarily, and strong for the long term, not just while you're cool in high school. Appreciate you guys. Go eat your breakfast. I know I'm about to. This is going to be great, and I'll see you next time.